Today English News Program on Azərbaycan Televiziya. I'm Qocaman. On March 11th, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham received in a video format new President of the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development, Odil Rinobasso, and other members of the bank's senior management.
Saying that over the past 30 years, very strong partnership relations were built between Azerbaijan and EBRD, the head of state said that the bank supported Azerbaijan in its transformation and diversification of its economy. The fact that we have project financing in the amount of more than 3 billion euros is a clear demonstration of that, said the head of state, and added that it was important currently that half of this portfolio were the funds channeled to the private sector. Expressing his gratitude to the EBRD for the support extended to energy projects, in particular to the Southern Gas Corridor, President İlham said that the main objective now was to continue to diversify our economy. Currently, our main goal is restoration of the liberated territories, noted the head of state, and added that as a result of the occupation that lasted for 30 years, everything was destroyed and now an area more than 10,000 square kilometers would have to be rebuilt. We have already started. We have started the construction of an international airport. We're building highways and railways, and we count on cooperation with the EBRD on these issues, said President İlham Aliyev. The head of state also noted that there was great potential for the renewable energy sources in the liberated territories. President of the EBRD, Odil Rinobasso, extended her congratulations on how well the situation in respect to COVID-19 was coped in Azerbaijan, saying that this crisis led to many economic problems in many areas and the situation in Azerbaijan was comparatively better compared with other countries. Odil Rinobasso touched on cooperation with Azerbaijan, saying that the bank cooperates with the government of Azerbaijan in the fields of wind and sun energy. She stated that it was important to adopt a legislative framework in that regard and touched on the importance of cooperation in this field. During the course of the conversation, the parties expressed satisfaction with the level of cooperation between Azerbaijan and EBRD and expressed confidence that this cooperation will further strengthen. During the meeting, the sides exchanged views on issues of transport, renewable energy, Ganja Green City project, Azerbaijan-Caspian shipping, telecommunication, banking sector, and projects implemented and to be implemented in the territories liberated from the occupation.
Azerbaijan's foreign policy promotes cooperation and good neighborliness between all countries in the region. This approach plays a very important role for the security and sustainable development of the region. And after the end of the Karabakh conflict on the initiative of Azerbaijan, new opportunities for cooperation appeared here. Azerbaijan is the initiator of cooperation platforms in the region. This mission also contributes to long-term peace. This role of Azerbaijan in the region and in general in the international arena was in the center of attention of President İlham Aliyev's address at the historic press conference held on February 26. Azerbaijan is recognized as a meeting place in the world. For example, it's no coincidence that meetings between the military leaders of NATO and Russia were held in Baku before the war, before COVID. The chief of the Russian General Staff and the head of the NATO armed forces met in Baku. Why did they meet in Baku and not elsewhere? Because there is confidence. We have already earned this reputation. There is a confidence, there is a trust, and there is respect. They know that our word is as powerful as our signature, said President İlham Aliyev. Of course, this faith and trust are not easily won. If on the one hand our country's liberation of its territories from the occupation is associated with equalizing the scales of justice in international law with our own efforts, then on the other hand, it's linked with the results of an open and sincere policy pursued for many years. The picture of the post-conflict period shows that, along with the majority of states interested in alliance, solidarity and cooperation with Azerbaijan, today even those countries that once kept their distance are striving to demonstrate the position of closest partner and friend, because being close to Azerbaijan means supporting the country, which when a country in its just struggle, which shares the organizations that unite the world, which calls the planet to solidarity defending justice from representative tribunes, which is the main initiator of mega projects in the energy and transport sectors and thus became an energy supplier for Europe. Those who have a point of view similar to Azerbaijan can also be characterized only as supporters of the establishment of peace both at the local level and the global level. Answering the question of the premises on the international media that Azerbaijan acts as a mediator in the normalization of relations between Turkey and Israel, President İlham said, "Azerbaijan is known as a country providing cooperation in the region. We have no problems with any country. After the war, Azerbaijan has been making effort to bring together some of the countries between which there are disagreements. Why are we doing this? We want stability, peace, no enmity and fewer risks. We are living in this region. There are no threats or sources of risk inside Azerbaijan. They did not exist before the war, they do not exist now either." Undoubtedly, the call of President İlham for peace is known to everyone during the course of the Patriotic War. The successful results of the mediation mission are clearly visible against the background of the relaxation of tension in relations between Turkey and Russia several years ago. So, currently Ankara and Moscow are partners analyzing various projects, including joint monitoring of the ongoing processes in Karabakh. Azerbaijan is known as a country providing interaction in the region. If we look at the Zangezur corridor alone, we can see that it meets the interests of not only Russia, Azerbaijan, Turkey, Iran and Armenia, but also of other neighboring countries, so a new transport artery of Eurasia may be opened. If these positive trends prevail, then of course each completed project will lead to a new project, said President İlham Aliyev. Azerbaijan will not first deviate from the right path in domestic and foreign policy, demonstrating its commitment to the historic peacekeeping mission. The propensity of the opposite side and their patrons to the wrong path will lead to adequate behavior and the sustainability of policies aimed at isolating and excluding them. And this is alienation from the favorable conditions that are developing in the region, the transformation into an enemy of the world proceeding from the context of their insidious interests, the absence of relations with Azerbaijan, and that is nothing more than, to put it mildly, all-around defeat.
A meeting of the Working Group on Economic Affairs on the Interdepartmental Center under the coordination headquarters established for the centralized settlement of issues in the liberated territories of Azerbaijan was held on March 11th. The meeting discussed the participation of foreign companies in the restoration and reconstruction of the liberated territories. It was emphasized that the Agency for Small and Medium Business Development and the Ministry of Economy is responsible for receiving, analyzing, informing entrepreneurs, giving relevant recommendations and directing appeals related to the implementation of entrepreneurial activities in these areas. The priority of investment projects submitted to the agency is analyzed. Potential projects are identified and included in the database. So far, the agency has received 409 appeals from individuals and legal entities to carry out entrepreneurial activities in the liberated territories. Azerbaijan's Working Group on Environmental Issues at the Inter-Management Center under the coordination headquarters created for the centralized addressing of issues in the country's liberated territories held a meeting. The relevant structures have started to implement the action plan of the working group. So, in order to assess the environmental situation in Azerbaijani regions liberated from the Armenian occupation, comprehensive monitoring and control related to Azerbaijan's transboundary rivers, including the Zangilan district bordering with Iran, is carried out. In the district's Basichai State Nature Reserve, with the participation of specialists from the Azerbaijani National Academy of Sciences, monitoring is being carried out to plan the assessment and restoration works. In order to study the radiological and radioecological situation in the liberated territories, a plan program has been developed in cooperation with the relevant state institutions. Aerial works are currently planned. Moreover, maps of 13 ore deposits of the Karabakh Economic Region have been prepared on the basis of found information. Weapons and ammunition abandoned by Armenians while fleeing were found in Khojavan, according to the press service of the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Officers of the Lachen District Police Department found in Uchtepe territory of the Khojavan region 1 submachine gun, 1 carbine, 1 rifle, 8 hand grenades, RGD-5 and fuses for them, 20 magazines for submachine guns thrown by the Armenian military units, about 3,500 cartridges for rifles and machine guns. Weapons and ammunition have been handed over to its intended purpose. 608 infections with the novel coronavirus were registered in Azerbaijan. 128 people recovered after treatment and were released home. 5 people have died after testing positive for COVID-19. The overall confirmed cases in Azerbaijan have reached 238,383 with 230,244 recoveries and 3,262 deaths. The number of active infections is 4,877. To detect new infection cases, overall 2,682,116 tests have been conducted in Azerbaijan. The task force under the Cabinet of Ministers reported. That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.